What's up, champions? Welcome back to Jet Surfing Nation, or should I say Jet Efoiling Nation, because we have a new trend starting, Jet Efoils. I've seen already at least 3 companies preparing their Jet Efoils this season, and some of them we already reviewed, but today we have a new brand that introducing their Jet. It's called Takuma Efoil. Joining me today, Joaquim from SB Foils. Welcome, Joaquim.
Thank you.
And as always, joining me, professional rider Pedro.
Hi, hello guys. Thank you again for visiting the Jet Surfing Nation channel, and we are here to present you all the new things on the market. Thank you, Mike.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
As you know, Takuma is not a new brand on the market. They have been doing a lot of wings for the foil sports even before they got into efoiling. So before we get into all the details about the Jet, let me get some details. What are the best wings they're having right now this season?
So Takuma started introducing the helium and the Kujira for the efoiling. So this was the regular wings that came with the cruising model, and now they've changed to the helium, which is much more streamlined and it turns much easily. So it's a big improvement, and they have smaller range sizes that go from 1750, 1500. Those are the helium. Then you have the smaller Kujira that go for 1440, 1210, and smaller sizes. So you can have a bigger range to choose from when you are efoiling with the shorter models, the Carver. And also for the cruising, they ship it with the helium 1750, which is a smaller wing, but it turns very easily. That's the main change, I think.
And I think it's one of the advantages of brand like this is that you can interchange the wings between efoil, traditional foil,
Sure.
So you can go wing foiling with the same wing, and then you can snap it onto efoil.
And according to your weight, you can choose a bigger wing, and you have a bigger range of options. So that's a big improvement, I think.
You probably know that Takuma has several sizes of the boards, and a few months ago we have been testing the new Carver 2 model, which we have it right here. If you missed our video, we went into all the details about this new amazing board, so we're not going to cover all the details all over again. Just make sure you check out that video if you want to learn everything about this traditional propeller type of efoil. This season they added a lot of cool features. For example, they have a concave pad, so it's more comfortable to stand on the board. They have reduced the size of ICU, so it's much smaller now, which reduces the size of the board as well and probably increases reliability. And they introduced several new wings like we just mentioned, and longer mast, right?
Yeah, those are the main changes, yes. So for me, it's this is an advanced board for advanced riders, but it's an amazing board. It's not very easy to take off in the beginning, but once you get the hang, it's pretty smooth. And I'm very happy with the board. I've been riding it for around 2 months now, and it's an amazing board in my opinion. I'm not using the regular configuration. I have the 1500 Kujira helium wing. As I said, you can change for smaller wings depending on the wave conditions and what you want from the board. The smaller the sizes of the wings, the easier it is to carve, to turn, and the bigger, it's for bigger riders. So you have a lot of options, as I said before.
Yeah, and here on this board we have the traditional LOL wing. That is a wing, it's really stable, used for lessons and rentals. It's really perfect wing to begin. And now on this board we are having the new Jet engine. So probably Joaquim, he's tried before.
I've tried it this morning for the first time. I think it's it's quieter, it's more streamlined. It reduces the drag also. You feel a lot less drag. It's more fluid, the ride, in my opinion. I can't talk for battery life still, but I think it will probably be in the same range. As for power, I think there isn't, I don't notice that much of a difference. It's much safer for students because you don't see the propeller. So I think it has lots of benefits.
And I think it's coming with the cruising model, right? With the bigger one.
Yes, with the cruising model.
So which one you recommend for people to buy themselves, and which one is for lessons?
This is the perfect board for lessons, for starting to ride. This configuration is the ideal for any weight, any kind of person, with or not without experience. The front wing is huge, so it's 1900. It has a lot of lift. This kind of propulsion system is the ideal because you don't see the propeller. It's a lot more friendly for users.
And for this kind of engine, do you think it's easier to take off for the beginners compared to the propeller model?
I think it's relatively the same. I don't see that much difference in power. But it's I've been using the Carver a lot these days, so I'm comparing more this configuration to this one. I think it's compared to the previous version, to the propeller, I think there is no you don't see a lot of difference in power.
Okay, so the mainly difference is about security, right? So probably
Security.
the power of the engine is basically the same on the two models.
I think so.
Okay.
And also it's more fluid, the ride is more subtle. You hear less noise and you feel that's for sure less drag.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed on the previous models that I tried with the Jet. They are quiet and much more smooth.
I also noticed the same experience with Jet Efoils. You have much smoother outcome of the power. It doesn't necessarily mean more power, it means it's just much smoother. So when you press the trigger, it goes like woo, instead of jittery kind of acceleration that you get from traditional
Yes.
propeller like here.
Yeah.
So it could be much easier because of that for the learners, but we'll see about that when we get more experience.
And about the autonomy, did you notice any difference on the battery on the two options?
I haven't used it for a constant ride because I've been teaching, so the lessons go for around 1 hour more or less. I would assume it's probably the same.
The same. Okay.
I think so, but we have to try it today
Okay.
to figure it out.
Yeah, it makes sense because you're using the same amount of power. So
Maybe if it has less drag, it's probably going to give it a bit more lifespan. I don't know.
yes.
We'll see about that with more experience. We just got it.
As you can see here, we have almost exactly the same profile until the end of the engine. So difference, it's only on this part of the propeller. So this is the jet and this is the propeller. All the main profile in the front, it's the same. So probably it will have the same performance.
But it's very interesting to see this new trend growing because these companies are claiming more safety, and even, to be honest, I don't agree that all the danger is coming just from propeller, because when you efoiling, you should also look for the mast, which is quite sharp. You should also look for the wings, which are quite pointy, sharp. You can scratch yourself, plus you can hit yourself with the board, so always use the helmet, impact vest, and not just worry about only propeller, because that's not the only danger. However, for regulation point of view, in countries like Canada or Switzerland, they don't allow anything with an open propeller. So this can be a key for the mass adoption in those countries, and I think this is the right step in the right direction, and maybe we'll see more brands coming out with jets in a few months, right?
Yes, I can't agree more, because I think when they begin to develop those kind of engines, first it was because of the safety, because I've heard about 2 accidents about people having wound on the propeller, but I think for my experience the danger on the Efoils are more from the wings than from the propeller. I think it's more about the laws from that countries. For the brands are allowed to sell more on that countries that have more restricted laws about the open propellers.
And finally we have Takuma new remote. To be honest, it's very surprising and it's very different from all the remotes that I used to. It still has a trigger, but you actually control it with a thumb. Tell me more.
So this remote, the way you use it, as you evolve, you don't get, you just press it and you get your speed, and then you don't touch it anymore. So in those terms, I think it's practical. It's not. It doesn't look very. It looks a bit bulky, I think, but it does its function. So it just regulates your speed, and after a while, you don't touch it anymore. So you just carry it on your hand. So I think it's not very modern looking, but it does its function.
Plus it has the boost button, which can propel you up to 45 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, the boost, I don't use it that much. I think it may be useful for heavier riders to take off, because it will give you an extra boost, of course. But in practical terms, I almost never use it. I just sometimes use it to take off when it's windy, but otherwise it's I think it's for heavier riders, maybe I think.
All right. So, I think it's very interesting to see the experience in the water. We have a perfect day today in Sesimbra, Portugal. Very smooth, very clean, finally sunny. I'm very excited to try it in the water.
Let's go to the water.
Let's do it. how we start with Takuma Jet Efoil. We start on the knees. Feel comfortable riding on your knees for a few circles. Then put more power and start standing. As you can see, it's quite smooth, very easy to get started. Low noise levels, very good.
So, how was your ride?
It was very easy. As you can see, this board is so big, it has so much flotation that you can actually stand on it before you even start going, which is probably the only Efoil you can do it.
What about the jet? Did you feel any differences?
To be honest, not much difference in the experience, but it's quite smooth, so I assume it has less drag. It's quite easier to get going, really smooth power, and especially on sunny, smooth day like this, it works like charm. Yeah, very easy. Here you go, guys, another jet Efoil successfully tested. I'm very excited to see where this new trend is going, and we are looking forward to see more and more brands introducing a new jet option for their Efoils. As you can see here, we have the 5-blade open propeller option, and as you know, professionals are even going to remove the prop guard, so they're going to get more speed and more distance. However, it obviously increases the danger, so you really need to know what you're doing before you remove the prop guard. With the jet, it's completely safe, nothing is going inside. It's really hard to get your fingers here. It's fully shielded propeller, so there's no way you're going to get hurt with the propeller. However, like I'm always saying, don't underestimate the danger of efoiling. Always take the lesson first. Understand that danger doesn't only come from propeller. You can get hurt by hitting the sharp wings, the mast or the board, so always use appropriate protection before you get in. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed our quick video. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next one. Cheers!